Hi everyone. So today we are going to learn an important concept in Python that is known as APIs in Python. So APIs are the connectors in Python which help you to get the data from the GFDL portal and you can utilize that data to develop your own algo trading systems and setups. My name is Archit Mittal and today we are going to see what are the different types of APIs which are there in the market and how you can think about those APIs so that you can code better. So there are generally two types of APIs in the market, that is the static APIs as well as the dynamic APIs. If we want to understand the difference between the two, we have to understand it from a very ground level, right? Let me write static here and dynamic here. You can understand static APIs as the difference between the restaurant chef as well as you, right? Whenever you go to a restaurant, you do not place the order directly to the chef. There is someone in between known as a waiter who takes the order from you, give that order to the chef, take food from the chef and deliver it back to you. Now there is one extra layer when you are doing the code, that you also send an acknowledge message that yes, you have received the dish and the dish was good. Okay, so in this static APIs, there is always three calls which are happening. Once you send a request to the chef, then the chef is responding you with the food, then you are saying an acknowledge message that yes, you have received the dish. So this is a three-way communication. It is also known as three-way handshake, which is always done in the static API calls. Now what happens is that once the response is done, you will not be receiving the other message. So one API call of static API will be giving you one result. It will not be continuously forming the results. So what is the solution for this is, I have explained to you in the previous classes the concept of while loop. We use while loop when we do not know the number of times we have to run this loop. So what we'll do is we'll put a condition of while true, and what we do that we will be placing the static API calls inside of this itself. So now every second the loop is running, the static APIs are getting called. But there is one problem again here. One is that the time difference because of these three-way communication increases by a lot. The second thing is that your broker or maybe your data vendor like GFDL will be allowing only certain number of calls to be happen every second. So there is a restriction of how many calls you can make every second. So this creates static APIs for a running live market code very difficult to execute. That's why to solve this problem, we have the concept of dynamic APIs. What does dynamic APIs do? It is not following the concept of chef and you or the restaurant example. You have to consider dynamic APIs as a tap. So in this tap, what is happening is one time you go to the tap, you open the valve of the tap and the water starts flowing. Similarly, in this, let's say this is your data vendor and this is you. You request the data vendor for the data and the data starts flowing to you. Now you can utilize this data again and again and again. There is no response back or there is no stopping of the data directly. So this is how the dynamic APIs work. The other name of dynamic APIs are WebSockets, which you will be finding in many of the documentations of multiple data vendors, and you have to use the WebSockets efficiently so that you can have the real-time data with you. So this is a sample code for your data vendor. This is GFDL sample code. You can put your endpoint and API key, which is provided to you by GFDL once you subscribe the data. Currently, I have subscribed the NFO data. NFO means the future options data for Nifty 1. Nifty 1 is the current expiry of the future. You can see the possible values which you can give here. There are multiple values which you can provide here. Now I just have to run this code. In this code, the code always starts from this if name equals to main file. So from here the code is starting. This whole code you will be getting as it is. You just have to copy paste it. You don't have to change anything in this code. You just have to have much more vision on these two functions, because on message function in the code, in the WebSocket code, is always where the response is coming, and the subscribe real time is the message code where like your message gets printed. Let me run this code. So you can see the code is running and the response is coming automatically again and again and again and again in this system, right? So you can see it is also known as tick by tick data, and it is continuously coming that what is happening in the market every tick. It has last traded quantity, last traded price, sell price, buy price. All the values are given in this manner. Is it interesting? You can use this thing for your stop losses, targets, your entries, your exits. You can create a proper code using all these values when you are writing your algo trading systems. So this is the whole structure of the API, static versus dynamic APIs. We have seen real-time streaming of the data using the GFDL API. The code you will be finding in the description below. And by the end of this, we will be ending the basics of Python series with this lecture. In the next series, we are starting with the intermediate series of Python, where we will be seeing how we can connect Python with Excel sheet and how we can see all this data which is coming from the GFDL APIs directly to the Excel sheet rather than going here and there. Okay, we will be also be seeing how we can execute these orders directly to your broker terminals. Isn't it interesting? Comment down below if you find any difficulties, and I hope every one of you complete all the assignments and practice well with the concepts which we have learned in this basics. I expect in the intermediate section, you will be having the knowledge of variables, if-else conditions, for loop, functions, pandas, as well as some basic knowledge of WebSockets. Let's meet in the next part of this series as move forward in building the algo trading systems for yourself. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's meet in the next session.